Hello everyone, it's Dale here. Welcome to the new video from the recent trade series. The goal of this recent trade series is to show you how I apply the strategies and setups that I show you in my other YouTube videos and my video profile course, and how I apply them in real trading conditions with real trades. So today I'm going to show you 4 trades that I took overnight. I took all of them with limit orders, and I'm going to show you everything about the reasoning behind the levels, everything about the stop loss and take profit placement, how the trade went, and simply everything about the trades. So let me first show you a trade on the euro dollar. And what you see before you, this is NinjaTrader 8 platform with my custom-made volume profile and VWAP indicators. This is 30-minute chart of the euro dollar, and I want to show you a level that I took with the limit order, and it was this level at 1.1522. The reasoning behind this level, why I picked this one to trade from, was that there was a significant volume cluster formed within a trend. This was the volume cluster, this was the trend, right? So when you see volume cluster within a trend, then it is telling you that the big players were adding to the long positions here, and then they continued to push the price even higher. And this heavy volume zone represents a support, right? That's the logic behind the setup. The setup is called the trend setup. I trade it when there's a trend. So that's why I placed the level here. That was a pullback. As I was saying, I took that with a limit order because I was asleep at that time, and this was the reaction. The stop loss for this trade was below wick of this candle, and also behind the heavy volume zone, because I always place my stop losses behind heavy volume zones, right? And the rule that I use for take profit placement is that take profit goes before a heavy volume zone. So let me show you. What I'm interested in is this area where the price was going towards my support, and the first significant volume cluster standing in the way of this reaction was this volume cluster. So that's why take profit was in here. All right, that's the same approach that I repeat over and over again with all my setups, all my trades. Every time the stop loss needs to go behind a heavy volume zone, and the take profit needs to go before a heavy volume zone. All right, that's the same logic I apply with all my trades. So yeah, that was the trade on the euro dollar. The next one was on the Canadian dollar. What you see before you here, that's the 30-minute chart of the US dollar Canadian dollar. And yeah, truth be told, I was lucky with this one. But first let me just show you the reasoning behind this trade, because there were a couple of reasons behind this level. Actually, 2 reasons behind this level. The first reason is the same setup as I showed you on the euro. It was the trend setup. There was the trend, and within the trend there was a volume cluster, this one. But this wasn't all, because this volume cluster, that it wouldn't be enough, because there are more stronger volume clusters within the trend. But this one was pretty special because there was a confluence of one more trading setup. The thing is that if you look here and here, the price was reacting to this area in the past. That means that it was a support in the past. When the price blew past that support in here, it turned into a resistance. All right, so it's not only we had the volume cluster here, but also that price action setup. And both those setups were pointing to the same level, right? Now, the reason I'm saying that I was lucky with this one is that there actually was a reaction a little bit sooner before the level, right here, this reaction. See, just a touch sooner, 0.7 pips before the level. That's where the price turned and made a reaction. So if I was around the computer, then after this reaction I would have discarded the level. But since I was asleep and I was trading with limit orders, then I took the trade, and when I went to the computer I was already taking a profit around this place which was, by the way, where the first deviation of weekly VWAP was. So yeah, let me also mention the stop loss placement here. The stop loss, as I was saying, needs to go behind heavy volume zone. In this case, this was the heavy volume zone that the level was based on, so the stop was behind it, roughly 10 pips. And the take profit was in here. My rule is that take profit needs to be at least risk reward ratio 1 or better. So yeah, that was that trade on the Canadian dollar. As I was saying, if I was around the computer, I would discard the level because of this reaction. Because I only trade first reactions, because the chances of a successful reaction when the price reaches that level for the second time is smaller, right? In this case, it worked out. So yeah, a bit of a lucky trade. That's for that. The next one was on the ES. And if you look at this chart, which is a 30-minute chart, the ES, let me show you the level first, actually. This is the level. If you remember, on Monday I sent you a video, and in this video I mentioned this level, and I was talking about the reasoning behind it. The reason was this volume cluster and this strong buying activity, which took place after this volume cluster got formed. I was saying that the volume cluster was not especially strong, but given the strength of that buying activity which took place afterwards, I was willing to take that trade. So yeah, that was the reasoning behind this level. And if you look at the 30-minute chart here, then it looks like it was a loss because the price just shot past this level, right? So it looks like it was a losing trade, but in fact it wasn't. And I need to show you on 1-minute chart. So this is the 1-minute chart of the ES. Let me move it a little bit to the left. This is the level, right? The same level as you see in here on the 30-minute chart. And on that 1-minute chart, you can see that the price hit that level and made very, very quick and pretty spot on reaction to it. So I actually was able to take a profit here. Also, this is the S&P 500 futures. And in my IC Markets platform, I don't have futures, I have the CFD, which corresponds with the futures, and on that CFD instrument I actually was able to catch the low, because those instruments at that time weren't 100% correlated, so I had a little bit better trade entry than here. Let me show you real quick. So that's the C trader here. Instrument is called US 500, it is a CFD, and this is how the trade looked like. See, I was able to catch the low of this reaction. I must admit that the sell-off on the ES looked pretty terrible. If I was around the computer at that time, this was at night for me, so I wasn't around the computer, but if I was around the computer, I would probably skip trading this because this simply looked terrible. I guess I wouldn't have the balls to take the long from here. But since I was asleep and I had a limit order, I just took the trade. It was a winner, so yeah, that's that. And there's one more trade which I took. It was on the NQ. This one was a losing trade. It was based on the same logic as the ES. This is also a level which I posted on Monday in that weekly trading ideas video. The level was based on this volume cluster and this strong buying activity which took place afterwards. So this was the level at 21,685, and in this case the price just shot past it, no reaction at all, so this one was a loser. And all that occurred during the Asian session. I must say that this Asian session was pretty wild, pretty volatile. To sum this up, I managed 3 winners, 1 loser, all trades with positive risk reward ratio, so I would say good start of the day. Also a good end of the week. And by the way, those levels which I'm showing you, those are levels which I publish every day for members of my trading course. Those aren't just levels which I would, pick to brag about in a video. Let me show you real quick. So this is the members area. This is where I publish the levels every day. This is the newest table, and the levels that I was showing you was this long on the euro dollar, this short on the Canadian dollar, this long on the ES, and the long on the NQ, right? Everything is published on this table. All the members are able to trade those levels alongside me, and they get that table always in advance. All right, so that's about that. If you guys want to join us and trade with us, then you want to go to my website, which is this, traderdale.com. Click this button, Trading Course and Tools, and it will take you to this page. If you scroll down a bit, then you can choose from one of my educational and indicator packs. There's the volume profile pack, order flow pack, VWAP pack, and smart money pack. You can get them separately in here, or scroll down a bit and get them in one big bundle where you get all 4 together for a discounted price. And if you guys are interested in trading with me and other prop firm traders live every day in a trading room, then you want to click this button which says FTA. It stands for Funded Trader Academy. There's a video where I explain what's going on in the Funded Trader Academy, and if you are interested, then in here you can book one-on-one call with us and we'll explain everything more in detail, walk you through the service, and then you can decide whether or not this is right for you. Alright, so that's about that. Thanks for watching, have a great weekend, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you next time. Until then, happy trading.